You bet.
Thank you.
I got the picture.
Isaac,
Yes.
Isaac, would you like to adjust? Yeah. Oh, okay. You're going to stand up. Okay, got it. I just wanted to be able to see you in the picture. I didn't realize you were. Isaac?
Yes.
Isaac, would you like to adjust? Yeah. Oh, okay. You're going to stand up. Okay, got it.
Yes.
I just wanted to be able to see you in the picture. I didn't realize.
DeMarie is our general evaluator, is that right?
Yes.
No, she's timer.
Oh, she's
Yeah,
the
she's
timer.
timer.
Marie's.
Do you have the general evaluator? That is DTM.
Dilshan Salim.
Yes, please.
Yes, I got that right. I just,
Great.
DeMarie went offline and she lost all her naming.
Okay, I will now start the meeting. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter what time zone you happen to be in. Welcome to Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters Club. If you are a guest and you don't have a G in front of your name, please do so now. I am Isaac Ford, the Sergeant at Arms, and turn those cell phones off because they seem to always go off once you start talking. Club mission: we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Core values: integrity, respect, service, and excellence. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our president, Tala bin Hamid.
Thank you so much, Sergeant at Arms, and good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon once again. Welcome to the first meeting of the year of Leaders Worldwide, the calendar year. It's meeting number 110. And as is the custom for most meetings around such period, it is all about new beginnings. Now we may ask ourselves, what is it about the new year that's specially new? It's the same planet spinning around the same sun, and it's a fairly arbitrary demarcation that it is at the same place as it was exactly 1 year ago, 365 days ago. So why mark it as a new year? What is so special about it? And come to think of it, if you don't want to see it, there is nothing new about it. But in our lives, we need discipline. We need compartments to divide our lives and our memories and our aspirations. And this is as good an occasion as any to start with a clean slate. And this is what most of us do. We put the bad things, the negativities, the bad memories of an year behind us, while celebrate the good things that we achieved. And I believe this is the one thing that we should be doing at this time of the year. I don't know about you, we all make New Year's resolutions. And personally for me, my New Year resolutions this time are all about me. I have resolved that I will reclaim my space. I have resolved that no matter how close anyone is, if they are bringing negativity to my life or are demotivating me, then I need to do something about it, no matter who they are. Because guess what? Love or friendship is not a license to make your life miserable. Think about it. So why not just stay with people who are a source of positivity? Because we are not prophets. We are not extraordinary world leaders who have infinite capacity to deal with an endless stream of demotivation and negativity. We need to take care of ourselves. If we have, and most of us have, ever traveled by an airplane, what do they say? Put your mask on first and then try to help others. And what do we do instinctively? When the mask falls down, we find someone else to put it on without realizing that if we are not there to, if we are not surviving ourselves, we won't be able to help anyone else. So yeah, it's not about being self-centered. It's about being fit enough to serve others. And that includes a degree of self-care and self-respect. So that is my message to everyone. Start thinking about where you are in your life and how do you feel about the various things and various people, and ruthlessly remove whatever is bothering you, or at least distance yourself. Because trust me, we cannot take it. We don't even realize it, but it brings pain and misery to our life, and we remain in a perpetual state of depression. So welcome once again with the resolve to start loving ourselves back. It's no longer out of fashion, it's back in fashion, self-love, and there's nothing wrong with it. So put your mask on first. We have quite a few guests today, and we'll start with guest Dilshan Salim, who is also our journal evaluator. Please introduce yourself, madam.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Today I am very excited to be with you all. This is my first time meeting Toastmasters members in a meeting out of my country. So I am very happy today. So let us look forward for a very wonderful meeting, and let us think positive and be happy. Over to you.
Thank you so much. We are thrilled to have you. It's an honor to have you. And there couldn't be a better start to our year than to have you and so many other guests and DTM Zameen as our Toastmaster of the day. Next, we have guest D. Mary King, who is also our timer. Would you like to introduce yourself?
So hello, everyone. My name is Dee Marie, and I am coming to you from Nashville, Tennessee, commonly known as Music City, USA. I'm excited to be here, and Cynthia has been asking me for some time, and I finally consented. So I am here, and I will do my best to be your timer. Happy New Year to everyone, and I look forward to this evening's meeting.
Thank you so much, Dee Marie. Welcome to this meeting, and hope not only you have a great time, but you do great timing as well. Next, we have guest Daryl Tam, and he is, I believe, one of our returning guests. Guest Daryl, please introduce yourself.
Hi, good morning from Singapore, and good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are from. This is my first time attending the meeting here, and I'm looking forward to the great learning because I see that you guys have a breakout session for TEDx practices, and I thought that was quite an interesting format. I've never had that in my home club before, so looking forward to this. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. And yes, that is truly something unique. Next, we have guest Joseph Dan. If I took the name correctly, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Joseph. So this is my very first time, or rather I should say I'm very new in Toastmaster. So I'm joining over to have a look at and learn from everyone. hopefully I can learn something from here, and I'm really looking forward to meet all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us. Next, we have guest Luim Tabili. Please introduce yourself. Guest Luim, are you there? All right, we can come back to you later. And next, we also have a person who I've never seen or met before ever. Guest Raghunath Raju. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, we are suddenly strangers, DTM Talabin Ahmed. This is not my first time in here, but my fourth time, I believe. And DTM Cynthia, the bubbly woman in the room, has always attracts people to the club. So here I am today to entertain each and everyone in the room, the guests and the Toastmaster as a tabletop master. And I will try my best in this role. Thank you. Over to Tala.
Thank you so much, DTM Raghunath. And good to see that the charm offensive of DTM Cynthia is in full swing, with people left, right, and center testifying that DTM Cynthia insisted and they're joining. So what could be lovelier than that? Now we move on to our Toastmaster of the day, who is someone very special. He's a distinguished Toastmaster. Most importantly, and I don't know how he's surviving, he's also the husband of a distinguished Toastmaster. So I don't know what their household conversations would look like, but one could definitely say that nobody would be giving an inch. So would love to hear that sometime. He is a business coach, and he has worked with Sri Lanka's telecom for more than 7 years. But most importantly, he has been a district governor of District 82, Sri Lanka. And we have a great deal of respect and admiration for anyone who has served as a district leader in District 82, because we know District 82 to be one of the benchmark districts in the world of Toastmasters. And myself, as the IPDD of District 122, Sri Lanka has been one of the places that we look up to in terms of establishing a Toastmaster structure. So it's my great honor and privilege to welcome our Toastmaster of the Day guest, DTM, Zameen M. Salim. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Talha, President of Leaders Worldwide. Thank you very much for setting the stage for the meeting and introducing all the guests. And also thank you for complimenting to giving compliments to our district. Yes, we are here as leaders worldwide from all over the world, most part of the world. As our president said, the world turns around the sun every 365 days. So January 1st is only a benchmark day that for most of us to have new beginnings. Forget the past and start a new beginning. What happens if you miss starting on the 1st of January? We have 2nd of January. I think most of you are on at the latter part of 2nd of January, and we are just starting the 3rd of January. For us, 3 days have already gone in this year, but still we can always begin anew if we missed on the 1st of January. So that is what I thought that we should have as the theme for the meeting, the new beginnings. So every day we can start anew if we missed starting the previous day. Forget about the past and let us focus on the future. So later, having those thoughts in mind, very positive thoughts about new beginnings, let us start the meeting of the day. First off, let me introduce.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I'm sorry for interrupting. We need to let our pod members go into their breakout room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's have all 6 of them go in. And then did one of our guests want to go with them? He was interested in TED. Was that Joseph? I
I
think
guess
he
so,
said.
yes.
Yep,
I
I'll
think
be
that
happy
was
to find out at the breakout room if you don't mind.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold
Okay,
on.
so that's Joseph.
Let me see how I do that, how I add
Thank you.
Joseph. Hold on, Joseph G.
Great. Awesome, Joseph. Have fun.
Thank you.
You know, while we're interrupting things, I would like to ask Isaac, can you make me co-host again? I got bumped out somehow.
Yes.
Yeah,
let me
and
do
once
that
you're
right now.
co-host,
minute.
it's really hard not to be.
Nadine, are you here? I didn't think you were going to come in. Are you going
She
to
was
speak
here,
today?
yeah. She's
You
here,
can't
yeah.
go to the breakout room if you're going to speak because you're speaking in the main room today.
Yeah,
You're
she's
not
still
in
here.
So does she want to? So Nadine, you're not speaking. Okay, great. So she can go to the breakout room then.
Okay,
She doesn't want to speak today because she's not feeling up to it.
okay.
Okay, great. Lots
Okay.
going on.
Thank
Sorry.
you very much, DTM Cynthia. Yeah, it was not in the agenda, so I missed it. Sorry. Thank you for pointing it out to me. So now the breakout room is in session, so we are in the main room. Let us go ahead with our meeting. So first of all, the most important role player of the meeting and the most important role player in my life. Let me introduce distinguished Toastmaster Dilshan Salim. She is, of course, you all know the wife of a distinguished Toastmaster and also a mother of a distinguished Toastmaster and also a mother of a world champion of public speaking finalist. We have 3 sons and 2 sons out of 3 are Toastmasters. One is a distinguished Toastmaster, another one, the other one, a champion speaker. So she is a past president of IEESL Toastmasters Club, where we both are members of, and also a past area director. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the general evaluator for this meeting, distinguished Toastmaster Dilshan Salim.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. So once again, I am excited to be with you all at this beginning of the year and also beginning of the Toastmasters meeting of leaders, Worldwide Toastmasters Club. So, as I said previously, let us think positive and let us be happy throughout this year. So let it be 1st of January, 2nd of January, or 3rd of January. Let us be positive and happy throughout the year. So today, my role as the general evaluator is to evaluate the whole meeting. I will have to watch the meeting from the beginning to the end. So I will be evaluating anything and everything happening in this meeting. So I have a team to help me. I have a timer, I have a grammarian and evaluators. So they will all help me to do my duty to the best of my ability. So first, let me introduce the timer of the meeting. So the timer is going to be our honored guest, Mary King. So let me call upon the timer to explain her role.
So hello, everyone. I am excited to be here, starting off the new year in a space and a place that I normally am not part of, but we're going to see how that works out. I really was excited because I didn't tell you in my introduction that I am a member of Find Your Voice, Toastmasters out of New York. I joined there about, I guess 6 or 8 months ago, and I am the treasurer. So I had gone on a hunt for a bell or something that I could use whenever I was asked to be the timer. So you're going to hear this sound, and that will tell you that you're either at 1 minute for our table topics, and then 1.5 minutes, and then 2 minutes. And when I ring it for 2 minutes, that means that you have 30 seconds to wrap up whatever it is you're saying about your table topics. For
Dee
our,
Marie, I didn't
I'm
hear the
sorry.
bell. Did anybody hear the bell?
No.
Yeah, you
No,
know,
no,
your
we
Oh, I
audio
can ring
is
it loud.
cancel.
Can't
we
hear
can't
it.
hear.
The
don't hear
sound,
that?
the noise reduction cancels it out. I'm afraid you have to use your voice.
You're going to have
Oh.
to say ring-a-ling-a-ling.
I will gladly say ring-a-ling-a-ling, okay? Oh, I can't use my bell. Okay, but I will say ring-a-ling-a-ling, or I really will just say ring at 1 minute, ring at 1.5 minutes, and then ring at 2 minutes for table topics, okay? And for the general speakers, these are 5 to 7 minute speeches, am I correct?
Yes.
At 5 minutes, I will say ring. At 6 minutes, I will say ring. And at 7 minutes, I will say ring for the third time. And you have 30 seconds with which to conclude your speech, or you will have defaulted. For the evaluators, my understanding is that's 3 to 4 minutes to give the evaluation. So
2
at
to
3
3
minutes,
minutes.
I'm
2
sorry,
to 3.
2 to 3 minutes. So at 2 minutes, I will say ring. At 2.5 minutes, I will say ring. And at 3 minutes, I will say ring, and you have 30 seconds time in which to finish your evaluation. And I will be marking down who the evaluators are and keeping record of everybody that and their time. So thank you so much for entrusting me with this responsibility.
Dee Marie, could I ask for a little tweak on that? Could you go ring for green, or the minute before, the next one, which is the yellow, ring, ring? So we have 2 rings, and then the third one, ring, ring, ring. So that,
You know, the thing that I think that will take some of the confusion out of it is to say green, yellow,
yes,
and red. That takes care of all of that.
thank
Okay?
you so much.
So when I say red, they know they have 30 seconds to wrap up.
You got it.
Is that good?
That's perfect.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you so much for that suggestion, Michelle.
Okay,
Back
thank
to
you very
you.
much. Yeah,
Back to
thank
you,
you very
Madam
much.
General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Demir King. So let us listen to our grammarian who will watch our language usage, and also who will do the R counting, our R's and M's. So let me invite Toastmaster Sally Reyes, our grammarian, to explain his role.
Thank you so much, Dilshan. My joy is to listen to those juicy words and bring people to the attention of how important they are in their meaning and portrayal of their stories. I also look for these odd words, which are very short fillers, and sometimes give you a chance to have a space to think for the next thing. But we hope that you will just breathe in and take a pause, because it's more attractive for the entire project in not using ands, is, buts, and so forth. Our word of the day is possibilities. There are many choices to make in your future. Your choosing and focus may result in a thrilling ride. So make those possibilities juicy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sally. So that is my team, and at the end of the meeting, I will introduce the evaluators of the speeches. And also at the end, I will give my feedback about this whole meeting. So until such time, let me hand over the controls to the Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. Indeed, you introduced your team, and the meeting is set up, and possibilities are endless. We are in a new year, so we are heading to endless possibilities. So let me call upon the first speaker. But before the first speaker, let me bring the first evaluator in. The first speaker's speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Michelle Petticolas.
Thank
so let
you.
me invite you on stage to announce the speech path, project, purpose, and the timing.
So the speech path for our first speaker is motivational strategies. And he is working on level 1, the third set of speeches, evaluation and feedback. And he is giving his second speech following his first evaluation. And the purpose of this speech is to incorporate the feedback that he received from this first speech into his current speech, and to demonstrate to all of us that he has applied those feedback.
Thank you. So let us welcome on stage Toastmaster Isaac Ford, Mrs. Allen. Mrs. Allen, Toastmaster Isaac Ford.
I remember when I first saw Mrs. Allen. She was walking by my house. We never met personally, but everywhere I went, I would see her walking. Mrs. Allen was in her 50s, but she looked 30. She would remind you of Venus Williams. She was athletic, energetic, and always positive. At the time, I was 25 and my back was 55. Every day, I would have to roll out of bed just to stand up. I had a job that had totally stressed me out. But the one good thing about that job was that it was an hour's drive to get to work. And going to work, I would always listen to audiobooks. This one morning, I was listening and they were talking about the benefits of deep breathing. They talked about how deep breathing can lower your stress, change your mood, and there were so many benefits of deep breathing. So I thought, since I'm driving, let me try it right now. So I could not take a deep breath. All of a sudden, I started sweating. I had to pull over because I thought I was going to have to call 911. But eventually, I calmed down. So when I got to work, I decided from here on, I was going to walk on my lunch break. I wouldn't drive to McDonald's. Anywhere I needed to go, I would walk. Eventually, I started feeling a lot better. And I started walking in the morning before I went to work. So I'm just really feeling better. And one morning, my wife, JoJo, announced, "Honey, would you come with me to Weight Watchers for moral support? Because I need to lose a little weight." I thought, JoJo, you really could lose a little weight. Now, I didn't say that. I just thought that. So when we get to Weight Watchers, the counselor, Shar, the first thing she did was have me step on the scale. Now, I had been married at this time 5 years. The day of my wedding, I weighed 150 pounds. When I looked at that scale, 222 pounds, I realized I had been tricked. JoJo, you don't need to lose the weight. I'm the one that needs to lose the weight. So Shar, the first thing she told me was, there's 3 things you're going to need to do. You're going to need to keep a food journal. Write down everything you eat, when you eat it, and how much you eat. Then you're going to need to change your diet and drink plenty of water. And then finally, you have to exercise. Now, I had started walking, so the exercise part for me was easy. But once I changed my diet, that weight melted off me like hot popcorn butter. Now, sometimes if you don't feel like exercising, I had heard this speaker, Don Johnson. He was the 1989 International Speech Contest winner. And he talked about this exercise tool that he had found. He said it looked just like a little block of wood. And what you do is you just, when you get up in the morning, just sit it in the middle of the floor and just walk around it 2 times and get back into bed. And people would always come up to him and ask him, wow, Don, what are you doing? You look great. And he would just tell them, every morning, the first thing that I do, I walk around the block twice.
Great.
Now, as a walker, I walk all over my neighborhood. Now, one of the things that, because I walk so much, had started a few years ago, my wife JoJo passed. And that would put me in moods where sometimes I just didn't even want to get out of bed. But laying in bed, sometimes I would just imagine Mrs. Allen walking by my house. So I would jump out of bed, lace up my walking shoes, and just hit the street. I would walk, and by the time I got back home, my whole demeanor had changed. I was more energetic, happy, and I just loved walking. Now, because I'm retired also, I walk around my neighborhood. I walk for hours. As a result of all that walking, once I got pulled over by the police. And the officer said, I want to thank you. Because of you, I have lost 10 pounds. I see you walking every day. And I figured, if you could do it, I can do it. So the inspiration that I got from Mrs. Allen those many years ago, I still use to this day. That was over 40 years ago.
Red.
Now, if you can't walk, all I ask you to do is just walk around the block twice. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Isaac. Before observing the 1 minute of silence, let me make a small announcement. Our next speaker, Lydia, is not speaking due to her ill health. So then the speaker after that will be...
Can I get a moment of silence while I... Thank you.
Yeah. So let's observe 1 minute of silence, please.
Excuse me, Isaac.
Yes,
Is Cassandra in the main room? Because she's not in the breakout room. I saw
yes, she
her.
is in the main room.
Can you put her in the breakout room, please?
Let's
She's
see.
supposed to be in there with the pod.
Okay.
She must have fallen out. She may have
Yeah.
dropped out because I
Yeah,
put her
I
in
saw
the
her
pod.
drop out of the meeting, and I want to make sure she gets back into the pod. Yeah, they need her there.
Okay, consider it done.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate
Oh,
it.
okay, let us resume the meeting. Thank you, Isaac, for the wonderful speech. I wish that I could be like you, to just start waking up in the morning and walking around the block to reduce weight. So that's going to be one of my resolutions for this year. And it's always a possibility. Thank you. Thank you for that speech. And since our next speaker is not speaking, that is Toastmaster Nadine, we'll move to the third speaker, and third speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Isaac. So let me invite Toastmaster Isaac to announce the speech path, project purpose, and the timing for the speech by Lydia.
Great, thank you. Lydia's speech is going to be from Presentation Mastery, number 3, Project 1, Persuasive Speaking. She's to present a speech on any topic. Whoops, I'm giving the wrong one.
I think so, yeah. She's doing a practice speech, I believe.
Okay.
No, I think it is level 3, but it's one of the electives there. Lydia, what's your speech?
Mine,
Lydia?
yes, mine is Know Your Humor.
Know your humor. Okay. You
Okay.
got that?
Know your humor is what her speech is going to be about. And she is not to report on a speech, but just give it as a speech. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Isaac. Lydia, is your speech? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lydia Norman, a day in the head of a person with ADHD. A day in the head of a person with ADHD, Lydia Norman.
OCD, GAD, ODD. There's a plethora of Ds or disorders that psychiatry has put on people, but none seems to strike fear and terror into teachers and parents alike, like 4 little letters, ADHD. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. But what exactly is that? Allow me to explain. Many people, when they think of ADHD, think of little Johnny. Mama, 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 mom, 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 mama, 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 mama. Johnny, stop! And he goes around and he's touching everything, running from thing to thing to thing, and he won't sit down. Not even for a second. But is that what everyone with ADHD is like? Not necessarily. Little boys tend to be known for that bustle of energy, running around, can't contain it. However, girls, oh, us girls, we are masters at concealing. We are masters of putting on a mask so that you can't see it. However, if you know what to look for, it's visible. It's very visible. So allow me to explain to you what the clinical definition of ADHD is. It actually has to do with the executive function of the brain. Executive functioning meaning it's like a conductor of an orchestra, for example. Tells you when the violins should come in and when they should stop, when the drums should come in, when the soloist comes in and stops, and when everyone stops. And people with ADHD, we have a little bit of problem with that executive function. Primarily, it has to do with attention. Now, that doesn't mean that we are unable to pay attention. It means that if something comes along that we are just not interested in, we have a little bit of problem paying attention. However, when it's something that fascinates us, we have something that's called hyper focus. So that explains sometimes when people say, well, there's this subject that you don't do well in, such as English, but this subject, social studies, you're doing fabulous in. Well, because I like it. That's the easiest thing to explain. Now, the interesting thing about ADHD is that it expresses itself in different ways. When you meet one person with ADHD, you've met one person. Now, I'd like to share a little bit with you of my challenges as a person, not only with ADHD, but I have an all-encompassing thing where autism is the huge part of executive function, whereas ADHD is the small part that has to do with attention. Now, I would like to show you two of my favorite inventions known to me. Well, at least to me. This is a key fob. This is the most, well, it's the greatest invention because I am known to leave my head if it wasn't attached. The key fob allows me to stick it in my pocket, in my purse, and I don't have to worry about trying to hunt it down so that I can go get in my car. I know that as long as I can, well, as long as I can find my purse, first of all, I can just go get in my car and my car will start and I can go wherever I want. Phone has been wonderful for me because now we have the ability to do tap to pay. I have been known to forget my purse and I get all the way to the store. I do my shopping and I get up to the cash register and realize I forgot my purse. This thing helped because I still was able to pay. What I would like to do in the future is I'd like to have one of those cars that actually you have your ignition on your phone. So that way I have my car, I can start my car, I can pay, and I can go anywhere I want with just this one little handy gadget. So, I'd like to tell you with one thought, or leave you with one thought. It's not necessarily that we can't pay attention or don't pay attention. It's just that we have different ways of handling it. And that is how our mind works. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Lydia. Let's observe a minute of silence. Okay, thank you very much for that speech once again, Lydia. And I was wondering how we can, if we can combine the mobile phone with your car's key fob. And what happens if the battery runs down on your phone? Yes, I was wondering. Right, let's go for the evaluation session, the first evaluation session. So let me invite the general evaluator on stage, Distinguished Toastmaster Dilshan Saleem.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. So now let us first listen to the timer. So let me call upon Mary King to give the timing of the first speech and the second speech.
So this first speech, which was given by Isaac Ford, was 7 minutes and 10 seconds, as he talked about his weight loss journey. And the second speech by Lydia Norman was 7 minutes and 18 seconds, as she took us inside of the head of a person with ADHD. Both speeches were within the time frame.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mary King. So let us move on to the evaluations. So first, let me call upon Toastmaster Michelle Petitcolas to evaluate the speech done by Toastmaster Isaac Ford.
Thank you. And Isaac, I always love to hear you give a speech. You always have such extremely interesting stories, and this one was no exception. And you started out with a description of this woman, Miss Allen, and how she was amazing because she was the age of 50, but the body of a 30-year-old. And then, of course, you put in the humor that you had the body of a 30-year-old with the back of a 50-year-old. You also had other humor about your wife who took you off to Weight Watchers to be of support to her. And you got on the scale and, oh, look at that. I'm the one who needs Weight Watchers. So that was great. And then the final one, there was another one. I've lost it. Maybe it was the popcorn falling off. I mean, the butter falling off the popcorn. So that's the structure of the speech. And your structure is really good because you bring Miss Allen in at the end too, as part of the inspiration. So you're incorporating two things. One is inspiration, and the other thing is your journey to lose weight and get into fitness and health. And you weave that in very well. In terms of stretch goals, I would say you might be able to make that a little tighter. Because at one point I was wondering, well, okay, we're talking about you having kind of like a panic attack and that being your motivator. You might have wanted to bring Miss Allen back in again because I kind of lost track of why she was there at the beginning. Or maybe you might want to open up the whole speech with a call to action or a question to your audience that gets them right at the top about, have you ever tried to get into shape? And what has ever motivated you? And then you have the two things. One is you can't breathe, and the other is that you got this woman who's a great example. The other thing I would like to remind you about is you are a great humorist when it comes to body language. And I invite you to do even more of that, to stretch it even more, to make it pop a little bit more so that we can enjoy those things. So for example, walk around the block.
Hello.
You can make that a little bit more funny. And the other thing is you could do conversations with some of the people. Like you could have had a conversation with your wife. It's like, oh, I get it. You meant me, not you, right? Or something like that, that you want, you can definitely do that. This is probably maybe one of the first times you've given this speech, and it's got a lot of potential. And let's see if there's anything else.
And
that's it. I got red. So I loved your speech. I think this could be a great international speech. Put a little more vulnerability in it, especially when you talk about your wife dying. Let us really hear that. Thank you very much, Isaac. I love to hear it again sometime.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Michel Petcola, for giving him positive feedback and giving points for his improvement. Thank you very much. So let us listen to the second evaluator. So let me call upon Toastmaster Isaac Ford to evaluate Toastmaster Lydia Norman's speech.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, and especially Lydia. Lydia, I loved your speech. You gave what you would call an informational speech. And the structure with an informational speech is tell us what you're going to tell us, and then tell us what you told us. And you did that. You explained when you opened up, you mentioned OCD, ODD. I'm listening to all these terms and I have no idea what they mean. And you explained it, and your gestures. You were very animated when you spoke. And that really made your speech interesting to listen to and also to look at, to see you. You had some humor. I love the humor that you had. And I just loved everything about your speech. The few maybe stretch goals that I would suggest, and I don't know, is when you were speaking, you kind of had the camera maybe a little lower than you. And if it's possible, maybe bring the camera up to eye level. So you're not looking down, but it's like you're looking right at us. So that would be an adjustment that you might want to make. And really, I would love to know why you brought in that you had OCD, that you were had autism. When I hear a speech like that, I want to know why should I listen to you about this? So at that, you have a lot of reasons because you've been through this. So I would like maybe to, at the beginning or somewhere close there, let us know why you are able to talk about this, because you know all about it and you've had experience going through that. So that and the camera are the only suggestions that I would give, but the structure was great. You told us what you wanted to tell us. You told us, and then you told us what you told us. So great speech, and it gets better every time I hear it. Back to you, Madam GE.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Isaac, for giving her positive feedback. So saying this, let me hand over the session to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. So now we have just completed 2 speeches. So let's take a 5 minutes break. Mr. Sergeant at Arms, please pause the recording for 5 minutes.
And then Dee Marie, can you give us 5 minutes on the timer? Let us know when we're up. Great. Awesome speeches so far.
My favorite part is still that walk around the block. I love that.
Yeah, that was so funny. And great evaluations too.
And you want to know the funny thing about that? That's the only thing I remember from his speech. When Don Johnson gave that talk, he talked for about an hour, but that stuck in my head about the walk around the block.
So we have Michelle's speech remaining. And will it be evaluated by Lydia, who is evaluating Michelle's speech?
Toastmaster of the day. I'm evaluating Michelle's speech.
Thank you, Mary.
Mary, right. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mary.
No worries.
Toastmasters name. There are cars now where there's an app that you can put on your phone where you can actually start your car with the app on your phone.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I love. That's what I love to have. So that way I just
Perfect, now the phone is what do you call indispensable device in your hand, but my only concern is that it is so indispensable. What happens if the battery runs down? My God. I
have this.
All right.
And then I have this.
Oh my God, you have 2 battery backups. Right.
I only have to make sure I keep my power cords.
Yeah. Sometimes when I travel with my friends, I think, okay, they will have a charger in the car, and I only take my my power cord for my phone. And sometimes they don't have a charger in their car. So the battery runs down, and that's it. After that, you are totally disconnected from the rest of the world.
Those were wonderful evaluations, Isaac and Michelle. Really good.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Yeah.
Isaac's such a pleasure to evaluate. He's so interesting.
Yes, I have to agree. You too, come to think of it.
In 30 seconds, we will be back.
Exactly.
We are back, dear friends. We are back. We are back on the second session. So let's listen to one more prepared speeches before we move to the table topics. And the speech will be done by Toastmaster Michelle, and her speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Mary Thomas. So let me invite Toastmaster Mary to give out the speech objectives, the path, and the timing.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. It is my pleasure to evaluate Michelle Petticolas. I've always liked to listen to her speeches, and I'm so happy to be evaluating today for her Level 1 Effective Coaching Evaluation and Feedback second speech. The purpose of the speech is for the member to present a speech that on any topic, receive feedback, apply the feedback onto this speech that she's going to deliver, the second speech. The purpose of the speech is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied that feedback that she received from the first speech onto this speech. I look forward to hearing you, Michelle. Back to you.
Thank you. And let me introduce our next speaker, Dr. Michelle Petticolas. Is an international speaker, a distinguished Toastmaster, select distinguished area director, and assistant district division director. She is the founder of Second Chance Secrets, a professional training center. She helps men and women dealing with loss or a major life challenge to change their story by healing the past and reclaiming their true power. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Michelle Petticolas. For what it is worth. For what it is worth, Michelle Petticolas.
I'm going to get off these headphones. Can you hear me? Can you shake your heads? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Have you ever felt unworthy, unwanted, not good enough? I did. I was the third born of a mother already overwhelmed by my two older sisters. And my father was transferred to Japan when I was only 2. I thought something was wrong with me. And that I, in order to survive, would have to learn how to prove that I was worthy of love. This is my story of going from worthless to self-love. Proving myself was very motivating. National Honor Society, Phi Beta Kappa, one of 2 graduate students to earn my PhD. I thought my PhD was my ticket to worthiness. I asked my dad, Dad, what do you think about my PhD? I'm so ashamed. I never got my BA. I asked my boss, Dave, would you introduce me to social services as Dr. Petticolas? Why don't you tattoo it to your forehead? And then my husband left me for another woman when I got promoted and he got fired. I quit. I ran off to a spiritual community where relationships and work don't matter. In reality, I just traded my dad, my husband, and my boss for my new spiritual teacher. But he was different because everything he did, no matter how painful it was, came from intuition, spirit, and source. And so it was of benefit. I did everything I could to please him. I edited his books. I interviewed his students. I videotaped his shows. He was a shamanic drummer. Boom, tacky, 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 boom, tacky, 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 boom, boom, tack. Dancers from all over the world came to his retreat to learn how to dance with spirit. I wanted to be a dancer. But most of the time, I was out in the audience videotaping the other dancers. My costume danced more than I did on somebody else's body. Then one day, he took away the video camera. Was I too ego attached? Now I could participate in his shows on the sidelines with the other second stringers. Thrown in the middle en masse at the very end. But little by little, I danced with fewer and fewer dancers until finally, one workshop, Christmas workshop in New York, I got my first solo for 30 seconds, but it was a start. And then my teacher, Adnan, he came to me and he said he wanted me to come to the show he was putting on in the Bronx at a local college. Did he want me to videotape or dance? I brought my costume along just in case. But when I got to the event, I saw all the other dancers were from his A-list. I asked him, Adnan, do you want me to dance? You could dance. So I put on my silk skirt and my belt, bare belly, bra, naked shoulders, and went out into the frigid auditorium. I videotaped for an hour, 90 minutes. When I saw the dancers getting on the stage for the second time, I knew he had forgotten me. Tears rolled down my cheeks, smearing my makeup and dropping on the camera. He must have sensed my distress because soon after, I got relief. I walked to the stage like a prisoner going to the gallows.
Green.
Stage. But I couldn't dance. My heart was broken. My confidence in tatters, and I was freezing. So he ended the show. We all loaded into the car of his one male student to drive back to Manhattan. On the way, we stopped at a market. Everybody got out of the car except me and Tom, the driver. Tom turned to me and he said, you know, you really are a good dancer. His words cracked open my heart. I cried a flood of tears. He said, why don't you come to my workshop next week and dance for yourself? And so I did. It was glorious.
Yellow.
I felt in love with my dance. I felt connected to spirit. I felt exalted. I made up my mind right then and there. I would never let anybody judge my dancing again, not even Adnan. I would dance for myself. And when you know, the next time I went to the retreat, Adnan asked me to dance, and he gave me a solo. There's a lesson in this. Don't let other people judge what you do. Do what your heart desires because of how it makes you feel. As my teacher said, do your own creative dance. It's the best way to find your self-worth. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Let us observe 1 minute of silence, please. Dance your dance. The possibilities are endless. Thank you very much, Michelle, once again for that wonderful speech. Very dramatic. I loved your moves. Let me invite the general evaluator back on stage to call the timer and do the evaluation of Michelle's speech. Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. So let us listen to the timer. So let me call upon the Mary King to give the timing of the speech done by Michelle Petcola.
So Michelle Piccola's speech was 7 minutes and 10 seconds. And she is an excellent timer herself, because I was so caught up in her sarong, her skirt, or her wrap, I didn't call out red, and I thought, oh, if she goes past this, I will pass out. But she stopped at 7 minutes and 10 seconds. You did a wonderful job. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you very much, Mary King. So let us listen to the evaluator. So let me call upon the evaluator, Toastmaster Mary Thomas, to give her feedback.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Michelle never disappoints. I can tell you that. And she kept up what I was expecting and even more. Let me just start the evaluation. She started with a question. I always find a speech that starts with a question, something that I need to continue listening, because you know why? I want to hear the answer. So I love that part of it. You had adequate, more than adequate body language, vocal variety, very articulate, and it gelled very well with the whole, the structure of the speech and what the speech was all about. Very articulate. And that speech needed that. Humor. When it comes to humor, to me, it was subtle humor. It was not something that you can just, go there and ha 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 and laugh about it. The humor was subtle. Very subtle that, it just gives a smile on your face because you know what? You want to continue listening to the speech. Beautiful. I felt connected to spirit. So that's what you said, Michelle. I can tell you, you definitely connected with your spirit. You surely did. Your expression, your eyes, your everything, you really connected. And you allowed us to connect with you as well. Beautiful again. There was clarity, great eye contact. The audience was aware of what you were saying. And I'm very sure, like how the timer said, they would have been glued listening to you. And it was very interesting. To be fair, I did not hear your first speech because that's the one I need to give. I need to know whether you've used the feedback. I've got to be fair on that one. So I really can't comment, but what you've done is really definitely without feedback even, you do a great job. I mean, I don't know how else to say this because I did not hear your first speech. This is your level 1 effective coaching. I'm sure that if you proceed coach, I always look at the competencies of a pathway. So if you are if a member is doing effective coaching, they have their own style of going through all the levels. So at the end of it, you become sort of like an effective coach already, the basics. I would also suggest, not for Michelle, but for everyone listening in, the new AI tool from Toastmasters International called Udemy. You may want to, not you, sorry, everybody who's listening in may want to try and use that as well. Thank you very much, Michelle. You did a great job. Wonderful. Love to hear you again. I always love to hear you. Thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, our evaluator, Mary Thomas, for giving that wonderful evaluation. So let me hand over the session to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. And that concludes the prepared speech session. Now we are moving on to the table topic session. So before we I hand over controls to the table topic master. Let me invite our Toastmaster timer, Toastmaster Mary King, to just refresh us about timing on the table topic speeches.
On the tabletop, well, let me say first of all that Mary Thomas's evaluation was 2 minutes and 48 seconds. the timing of her evaluation. For the table topics section, we have 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, you will hear green. At 1.5 minutes, you will hear yellow. And at 2 minutes, you will hear red.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mary. So let me now invite our honored guest, who is our table topic master, distinguished Toastmaster Raghunath Raju, to conduct the table topic session and force us questions. Over to you, DTM Raghunath.
Thank you, Toastmaster, today for attempting the first table topics, but pronouncing my name. Absolutely. The table topic is all about fun-filled learning. It's all to prepare us for those critical moments where we are put on the spot, especially the wife and husband. When you have a DTM wife, or maybe a Toastmaster wife, or even a wife itself, or rather your boss, or a child, the children of the millennials are this period. You keep asking so many questions and you need to answer them. They are much compared than tip, of course. But then let's have fun-filled learning. And I have my first target speaker, DTM Talabin Hamid. So I'll try few techniques, and that will just for fun, okay? And the timing is 1 to 2 minutes. And Talabin Hamid will attempt, like he has a split personality suddenly. His personality will keep changing as well as a switch. Now, DTM Tala, honesty is the best policy. And as I said, switch, you need to change your version of what you're speaking. Honesty is the best policy, DTM Tala. Honesty is the best policy.
Honesty is, of course, the best policy. You need to be honest. You need to be true to yourself. You need to speak the truth. You need to uphold all the values that you have been taught throughout the years. After all, this world is spinning because what good is honesty? See all the tycoons and idols that we are taught to worship. Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Jack Ma. Do you find honesty in any of them? And guess what? They are the richest people on the planet. I don't think honesty is good for anything except maybe moralizing and aggrandizing your own underwhelming performance through life.
Rich.
Well, honesty is something that exists and it is something good inside you. It doesn't have to be tied to fame and fortune. Honest people often go silently into the night.
Switch.
No one visits their graves. And that is why honesty is no good. How would you want to be remembered if you want to be remembered at all? Chances are, if you are a dishonest individual, the possibilities for your longevity and health and fame and fortune are endless, because you will be revered, you will be honored, and you will be emulated by millions of people around the world. But what if no one remembers you fondly after you pass away? And that is why honesty is the best policy, because you don't want people to celebrate when you die. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Wonderful attempt, DTM Tala, as always. I have a few. Okay. Now I need 2 people. I'll pick up here. King, do you want to go? Mary King. Wonderful. And Hussein, do you want to go?
One will need to time me, please. Okay.
Oh, sure.
Let me time her.
Okay. And then Hussein, do you want to go with her? It will be a pair. Okay, I didn't see Hussein. Mary Thomas, do you want to go with her?
Okay. I'm not sure what it is, but I'll go.
Okay, wonderful. Now we have Mary King and Mary Thomas. So two Marys in the room, and we have two TV channels. Okay. Now in one channel, we have a philosophical person talking about different things, how we should lead our life in a cool way. In other person, somebody is shouting, just like those news reporters who keep shouting and giving reports just about Bush or maybe our dearest past president. Okay. Now, I will choose. Mary Thomas is the reporter who is shouting, and Mary King is going to talk about meditation and different things that we can bring to keep our life cool. Okay. Now I will keep saying switch. I'm changing the channel. When I say change, it has to shift. Now Mary King will start, and then I say switch, it has to come to Mary Thomas. And then again, you keep switching as says a switch. But please entertain us. The timing is 2 to 3 minutes. Timer, please note. Mary King.
I wonder if you ever thought about what has to happen in order for you to be your best self. I wonder if that thought has ever crossed your mind. Well, let me start by telling you, one of the ways to become your best self is to love yourself. You have to love yourself.
Excuse
You
me.
want to be
switch.
How do you think? We need to love ourselves because the first thing we need to do, and anyway, we're on the bandwagon right now where it's all about self-love. We got to love ourselves. We got to think about ourselves. We've got to pamper ourselves. We got to take care of ourselves. Remember the aircraft? When the thing comes down, we got to put it on ourselves. Our life is all about self-love right now. When did we become like that? Don't you think that's
stop. I think you got it wrong. I say switch, and then it has to shift. And you are a TV channel talking about our past president, US past president, and you just have to talk about some spicy news. You keep shouting and in the high spirits. Okay,
right.
Mary?
Yeah,
and then
that's what I want. I would like to.
You are not contradicting Mary King. You are two different channels. You are not talking to each other. I say switch.
Right.
I say switch, and I get bored in just few seconds, and then I change channels. That's what it happens. Okay. Now we will restart it because we need entertainment.
May I
Mary
ask
King.
May I ask
Yes,
a question? While she's speaking,
you will not interrupt.
I cannot come in. Ah,
No.
okay. I thought I'm supposed to shout. And
I
come
say
in.
switch. I say switch.
Okay.
And then you come.
All right.
Okay. I'll say I'm bored. Switch. That's it.
So timing begins all over again.
Mary King.
Have you ever thought of what it would take for you to realize your fullest potential? Well, let me tell you one of the things that I have learned. In order for you to realize your fullest potential, you should learn to love yourself first. By loving yourself, you become more self-confident. You show up
switch.
authentic.
Good morning, America. What is the latest that you have been hearing? What's Biden been up to? And what about Anthony Fauci? What about the vaccine mandates? People, we want to hear your comments. What do you think about the bivalent vaccines? What about the people who have been vaccine injured? Are we allowed to talk about that? Where are we heading with the pandemic? Questions after questions. Anybody has answers? Perhaps.
Too much stress. Switch.
There is an old adage that says you can't pour from an empty cup. Your cup cannot possibly be full if you don't love yourself. You have to show up authentic and ready to be able to pour out love, appreciation, and gratitude. And in order to do that, it starts with self-love. So you learn to love yourself.
People, do you remember what I just asked? Have you got the answers? I'm waiting to hear it from you. I have more questions for you. What has Biden been doing about it? How about Trump? What's happening with him? How did the primaries go? I've got too many questions. I need answers. I'm not going to give you the answers.
So my challenge to you this evening is to figure out and learn those things that you can do that will help you love yourself.
You want me again? Do you want my questions again? I only have questions. I have no answers, as I said earlier. Tell me more about what's happening in Florida. Senator is fighting to make sure the mandates don't go through anymore. How about the other places? Texas. Any viewers from Texas, Florida?
And one of the most important facets in the philosophy of life, in that journey that we're all taking, is to learn to build very close personal relationships. And the only way you can do that, to love someone else and expect that person to love you, is to love yourself. Show up as your authentic self, give everything that you have, be the person.
That's all for you, America. I'll be back again. See ya.
Thank you. At that time. Now, who wants to go next? Okay. Now, what we will try is how we can improvise our storytelling. I want one person come ahead. Okay, I'll pick up. Cassandra, do you want to go?
Okay, what was the question?
I'll give the question, the topic now, Cassandra. The topic is, I'm going to start a story. I'm going to start a story, and then you need to continue that story.
Okay.
And challenge is we'll try different timings. You have 1 minute to complete the story now, and then we'll try other timings too. This is more like improvising your storytelling abilities. Now I'll make a statement, and you need to continue and complete the story in 1 minute. Okay, Cassandra?
Okay.
The stage is all set. The tortoise and the hare are ready to run. Cassandra.
They're running around. We can't seem to get this thing out of we can't seem to get this thing to stop. We have people running all over. We need more people. We need more people. Please, please. See if we can get more people to come in. See if we can get more people to sign up. Who do we have on the desk? Who do we have on the desk? Get Alan to call in. Get Jessica in. Call everyone in. All people on deck. All people on deck. Get in. Get Sally in. Get Jessica in. All hands on deck. All hands on deck. Call the president. Wake him up. Tell him what's happening. It's going like wildfire. We need more help. Get everyone. Call him up. I don't care if he is asleep.
1 minute.
Tell him what's going on.
Thank you. Thank you, Cassandra. Okay. Now, you need to narrate the same story in 30 seconds.
I need
Just
to
30 seconds. Repeat the story in 30 seconds.
Me?
Yes, yes. You need to repeat the story in 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Repeat the story in 3 seconds.
330.
30 seconds, Cassandra.
Okay, repeat it in 30 seconds. We need all hands on deck. There seems to be a disaster going on, and we need all people on deck. Call everyone, go down through the list. Everyone must come in. It's growing out of hand. We need everyone to be on deck. Wake up the president, tell him what's happening. Just go through the list and have everyone to come in. This thing is growing out of hand.
30 seconds.
Thank you, Cassandra. I don't know whether it is that you're calling DTM Talabi Namid to judge the race, or who was the president in the story.
God. She wants
Thank you
to be
very much.
rescued.
Okay, I have a topic for someone who wants to attempt solo. So Sandra, do you want to go?
Are you speaking to me?
Yes, madam. To
Oh,
you.
well, you kind of have complicated stories there. I don't know if I can follow it. Okay, what have you got for me? I'll try it.
Why is grass always green on other side? Why is grass always green on other side? Toastmasters, Sandra.
Well, you know, it always seems that people on the other side of the fence have something new and different that I don't have. And that would be, and I'm over here with my less than green grass, and I'm really pining away for the newer, better thing, which is represented by the higher grass. So, and looking for something that I can appreciate and I can trust, and there was something new and I want to see what it is, and that always seems that it's on the other side of the fence and not my side of the fence. So I don't really believe that, but you know, I'm making it up for your story. So what did someone say? Did somebody say
It's green. It's green.
Green.
It's
1
1
minute.
minute is over. Yeah.
So, thank you very much, because I was waiting for that green grass that was better on the other side of the fence. Thank you.
Green grass, green timer. Wonderful, Sandra. Okay, I have a wonderful topic for someone who wants to take it up next. Who wants to go? Oh, let me pick up Kathleen. I didn't hear from her today. So Kathleen, why don't you go?
Where am I going, Raghu?
I'll take you, don't worry. Okay, if an apple a day keeps doctor away, do we need more apple sellers than doctors? If an apple a day keeps doctor away, do we need more apple sellers than doctors? DTM Kathleen.
Yes, let's have apple pie and candy apple and every tooth-rotting, blood sugar level elevating version of apple we can find. At least that's what's been my motto in this past holiday season, where there are so many parties and so many sweets and refined treats that I'm going to, if I don't watch out, I'm going to need to call a doctor. And we don't want that. So, to speak honestly, yes, we need apples, we need cucumbers, we need spinach and kale and all the real true foods to make us happy and healthy and smooth out our temperament and keep those silly old doctors away. Fun to have the opportunity to speak with you, Raghu. Thank you so much for your very whimsical questions.
Thank you, Kathleen. Now I will invite my friend DTM Cynthia. Cynthia, the challenge is here for you. Okay, this is my
Okay.
favorite topic, and I've asked this around the world in different clubs, and I want to see your response to it. If necessity is the mother of invention, who is the father? If necessity is the mother of invention, who is the father, DTM Cynthia?
Ingenuity. Necessity is the mother of invention, but you really can't make an invention unless you have ingenuity and stick to itiveness. You have to make it work. You have to make it move forward and complete your task in order to create an invention that works. You can create lots of inventions have been created that don't work so well or don't market so well. Like, remember the pet rock? I'm a child of the 70s, so I remember the pet rock. That it was a craze for a while, but it didn't stick. You have to have ingenuity and necessity, which you didn't have much necessity with the pet rock. I don't know who needs a pet rock. That was even my question as a little girl. Who needs a pet rock? What can you what can't you can't pet it? It doesn't purr. It doesn't cuddle with you. I don't understand it. So you need ingenuity. Thank you. Back to you, Raghu.
Thank you. That's a new answer, Cynthia. Wonderful. I keep adding different answers to this question every time. Thank you very much. Now I have a very good question. Michelle, do you want to go?
Making me work hard today. Evaluator, speaker, and now you want me to do table topics? Sure, go ahead, throw it at me.
The question is there for you. If early bird catches all the worm, how are the other birds still alive? If early bird catches all the worm, how are the other birds still alive? Toastmaster Michelle.
It's simple. They eat peanuts. The early bird gets the worm, which doesn't make me want to get up early, and I'm an early riser. I prefer peanuts. However, there is a lot of food out there for birds. They don't all have to be early birds. Some can be late birds. Some are night birds, like the owls. The owls are night birds, and they get plenty of food because they can see the things that we can't see, and they fly silently. Now, which is the bird that's the early bird that gets the worm? Well, my experience from walking every morning very early is the robin. Have you ever noticed those robins are out there on the lawn looking around and pulling up worms? You can even see them pulling up worms. But not all birds eat worms. Some of them like bugs. Some of them like honey or nectar. Some of them like peanuts. Back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you very much, Michelle. So now last topic, but this is going to be a little typical. Who is up to a challenge? Daryl, do you want to go?
Sure.
I will think, why did you keep my video on?
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay, last topic, I can put my video on.
The challenge is, I'll give you a topic and you need to start on that. And as soon as you do that, I will keep adding items. Then I say, as soon as I say that, you need to add that to your sentences. Okay? The time is still the same, 1 to 2 minutes. And as soon as I give a topic, you need to start. And then in between, I'll keep injecting words or items. And then you need to use that in your topic.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Why is Leaders Worldwide a good Toastmasters club?
Why is Leaders Worldwide in Toastmasters Club? That's the question, right?
Is a good Toastmaster club.
Ah, okay. Why is Leaders Worldwide a good Toastmasters club? I think that is an interesting question because, first of all, the reason why I'm here is because I've heard of many good things about this club. And they have this really interesting segment called TEDx, where it allows for breakout rooms for people to practice on their TEDx speeches. So the main reason why a Toastmasters Club even exists in the first place is to build up confidence and build up leaders.
Competition.
And with so many good speakers here, we will see great competition. And with great competition breeds progress for everyone. And as we compete with each other, we start to realize what are some of our strengths, and we can take cues from one another.
Ice
and
cream.
Even be able to go out for ice cream once in a while to connect with each other. So through that connection and competition, everyone gets to improve themselves and to network. And as our network grows, so does our net worth. And as you know, in order to grow your net worth, you need to bribe people with chocolates, right? I mean, who doesn't love chocolate? I do. So with chocolates, ice cream, friendly competition, I would say very
Breakfast.
safely that Leaders Worldwide is a great Toastmasters club. And to prove that, let me tell you, I even skipped my breakfast for this. Yes, it's currently in the morning and I woke up early just to attend this Toastmasters meeting. That shows how great this is. So have a sip of water. Cheers to you. Back to you, Toastmaster. Table topics.
I loved it, Darren. I loved it. Wonderful. Thank you very much for participating in table topics today. I hope you had some fun with DTM Raghunath Raju. And I sign off. Give the control back to our dearest Toastmaster of the day, Jami.
Thank you very much to DTM Raghunath Raju. That was a very entertaining table topic session. Indeed, I enjoyed everything. Unfortunately, I lost my connection for a while Cynthia was speaking. I missed that part, but anyway, that was a very great and entertaining table topic session. Once again, kudos and thank you, DTM Raghunath. Okay, now I come to the end of my part in this meeting, and let me take this opportunity to thank every one of you leaders worldwide for inviting me to be your guest and be the Toastmaster of the day. And I really enjoyed preparing for this meeting and coming and being your Toastmaster for the day. It had been a great honor and pleasure for me to be here. Remember, great beginnings. Every day you can have a great beginning. You don't have to wait until the 1st of January to begin anew. And the possibilities are endless. Having that in mind, let me invite general evaluator on stage to do her session, the general evaluation, and afterwards she will hand over back to the Vice President Education. So thanking you and signing off, not really me signing off from the meeting, signing off from the Toastmasters role. Let me invite general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Dilshan Salim on stage.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. So now let us listen to the Mary King about the timing of the table topic speeches. So let me invite the Mary King to give a report.
Wow. This, for me, has been the most challenging table topics I've ever been involved in. I think I got rattled when I took my table topic and ended up doing a two-way combination with Mary Thomas. She did a great job and made it easy for me. However, I do have all the times except the time that we had. On Taufin Hamid, he was 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Cassandra went for 1 minute first and then 30 seconds, of course, because she was calling all staff in for that emergency. Sandra from The Grass is Greener on the Other Side was a 1 minute and 20 seconds. Catherine called the doctor in because of all the apples. So she involved both the doctor and the apples. She went for 1 minute and 16 seconds. Cynthia said that father of invention would have to be ingenuity. She spoke for 1 minute and 5 seconds. Michelle, with the early bird, getting the worm, she said, no, it's peanuts. She spoke for 1 minute and 8 seconds. And then Daryl is Leaders Worldwide, a good Toastmasters club. He said yes, but he was thrown so many different things in the midst of eating ice cream and competing for whatever favors he get, including chocolate. He spoke for 1 minute and 51 seconds. So everyone was within the time limit. Thank you so very much.
And the two Marys, the speeches, the philosophical TV channel and the news channel, your speeches combined lasted for 3 minutes and 2 seconds.
Thank you very much, Mary King and James Zamin and Sally. So let us move on to the grammarian who will tell us about our language usage. Let me call upon Toastmaster Sally Elizabeth to give her report.
Thank you so much. Sorry, my sound was off. We had fun with words today, and the possibilities are endless. Isaac, 1. Michelle, 2. Zamin, 1. Mary Thomas, 1. Lydia, 2. Mary King, 1. And Zamin, 1. But the words that I caught, and I didn't catch any junk little words. Everybody was really nonstop smooth. And the words I loved were structure, informational, institution, intuition, excuse me, shaman, and articulate. And also executive function, autism, honesty, and aggrandizement. Okay, bathe in those words. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sally Reese. So now it's the time for me to give my evaluation on the meeting. So we were able to start on time. We started sharp on time, and the Sergeant at Arms did wonderfully gave the start with the reading of the mission. And also the President, Talha Hamid, and he was very energetic and he started it wonderfully, and he was telling about the resolution of the new year and started the meeting very energetically. Wonderful work, the President. And also he allowed the guests to introduce themselves. So great work. Then came the Toastmaster of the day, and he was also energetic and wonderful. Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. Then the timer. Although she is a guest, she did a great job. Thank you very much, Mary King. And she described her role, and she was trying to use a bell, but since it failed, she used an alternative method. So she said, said about the colors, green, yellow, and red. It worked very well. Thank you very much, Mary King. I'm sure you are going to join Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters Club as a member. The members are looking forward to see you at next meeting, I'm sure. And the grammarian. The grammarian introduced a wonderful word of the day, and also at the end of the meeting, she gave her report, how we use the language, good words. Thank you very much once again, Toastmaster Sally Reese. And also we heard 3 wonderful speeches, and also the evaluators did a great job, and they gave positive feedback for the speakers to improve. Thank you very much for all the speakers and the evaluators. So the table topic master was wonderful. He used interesting and challenging topics. Every speaker did very well. We enjoyed the table topic session. So I think maybe all the audience will agree with me that we enjoyed that session. Thank you very much once again for DTM Raghunatha Raju. I have 2 points for your improvement. One thing is, once prepared speaker, that is the second speaker, I could not hear her well. Sometimes her audio was fade. So but I suggest that before the meeting, you can check the audio with the Zoom master. I think it will improve the quality of the meeting. So second thing I have to mention is that in the agenda, you haven't mentioned how many topic speeches we will be having. I was wondering. So it's better to mention the number of table topic speeches we are going to have. So you can mention it in the agenda. So all in all, it's a wonderful meeting. I enjoyed the whole meeting. So thank you everyone for inviting me to this meeting and wish you all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you very much, and over to you, PP Education.
Beautiful work, Dilshan. Thank you. We are entering into contest season. So the next meeting at this time, January 16, California time, is the speech contest. And after that, February 6th is the evaluation contest. So if you know you're going to be competing in one of those or both of those contests, please let me know. And we also have January 9 at 11 o'clock California time, January 9, this next week. We have, excuse me, we have openings, we have a full open slate. Should any of you want to speak or play a role? Can anyone tell me your desires?
Kathleen, I could be the timer. This is Isaac.
For a contest or for January 9?
January 9th.
Oh, thank you. Super. Okay, that is January 9 is at 11 o'clock California time. So that is the different time slot from what we are engaged in just now. Thank you, Isaac. And
Kathleen, can I?
Yes, Talha.
Yeah, can I be the table topics master for the January 9th one?
Thank you. Be thrilled. Thank you.
Thank you.
And would anyone else like to participate at the 11 o'clock time slot, California time? It's not this time slot. So that is the earlier time for California. And
so this is me. I would like to give a speech on that day.
She's joining this week, so she can give a speech. Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yay!
Okay, I'm thrilled. So happy to meet you and to have you, DeMarie.
Thank you so much. And the total number of table topic speakers was 8, okay?
All righty. Thank you. And the date of the speech contest is January 16. And that is at this same time slot. Would you like to sign up for a speech as a contestant in is that Rosalind asked that question. Would you care to sign up as a contestant?
Are you speaking to me?
No, that was Rosalind.
I will
Rosalind.
I will be in Hawaii, but if I can log on from Hawaii, I will love to be in the contest.
All righty.
Marie, you want to be in the contest too, right? And Lydia?
Absolutely.
Okay, and Lydia, do you want to be?
Well. Sorry.
Atifa? Great.
Yes.
Yeah. And in the chat, it says, Nadine says she wants to speak on the 9th. So that
And
is
the 16th.
And the 16th. Okay.
Good.
And the 16th.
How
Great.
exciting. Oh, gee, my head bursts. Let's see, it's too much sugar, too many sweetened apples. Let's see.
Kathleen, I also want to be in the contest on 6th.
All righty. Okay, let me see now. I have, for the contest, I have Rosalind, DeMarie, Lydia, Atifa, Michelle. Is that all for the contest so
About
far?
Sally.
Nadine, didn't Nadine sign up?
Nadine.
And Sally, do you want to be in the contest too?
Isaac?
And Isaac too, yeah. I think most of our people want to be in it.
Let's
Yeah.
confirm here. Let's see. How about Isaac?
Yeah, yes, I'll.
Good. Thank you. And then Ms. Sally? Do we have a confirmation from Ms. Sally Reyes?
Unmute, yeah. Unmute. Uh-oh.
No, I'm fine.
No contest for our
No
girl?
contest, evaluation contest.
Okay.
Okay, excellent. Got it. I'll put you
How
in
about
then for
Sandra?
evaluation.
Sandra.
Well, I wasn't really thinking about it. Is everybody doing it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Everybody's excited that you might do it.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Well, okay, I'll do it.
All
Yeah.
righty. Are you going to do an evaluation? Or you're going to do a speech or both?
I was thinking a speech.
All righty then.
And did you get Atifa too? And
Yeah.
Lydia?
So,
I did.
so what have I committed to? What?
Okay. All right, Sandra, you are committed to a speech in the contest, and that is January 16 at this time slot.
Okay, 16th at 5:30. Okay. Oh
All
my
righty.
goodness.
Now,
Kathleen, can I be your timer? Because
yes.
all members are competing, so let me be
Yes,
your guest
wonderful.
timer.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy with
And can
you.
we have both of you again? Because we need 2 timers for the contest. We have
I
a
must
DTM
ask.
couple.
I must ask my better half. whether she will-
Okay. Thank you.
Are
Let
you
us
available
know. I'm the contest chair, so yeah, let me know.
Yeah, the date is 16th of January, isn't it?
16th
Yes.
at this time,
Yeah,
5:30.
so it
Yes,
is going
so
to be
that's like the
17th morning for us.
17th morning.
17th
Yeah.
morning for us.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. You can count both of us in.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. You're like family to us.
And Cassandra
Happy
is
to
saying
be,
something.
happy to be of help.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cassandra, did you wanted to say
16th for the speech.
for the speech contest? Great.
All right.
Yay. Oh my gosh, we have no time for chocolates.
All
The
righty.
contest is our
Too
chocolate.
late for chocolate.
And I want to just check about contestants for the evaluation contest. Who wants to get their game up for evaluations? And that is on February 6th.
I'm the chief judge, so I can't compete.
All righty. Okay. Oh, Isaac, would you care to? I loved your evaluation.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
good.
jump in the fire.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Isaac. Okay. I'm not going to take too much time. And
You
I
have 30
do,
seconds.
I do just want to check. Let's see, where are my notes? And that is, oh, where did I put?
Okay, better email everybody. We're done. Because so Tala, can you close this out? Great.
Alrighty.
All right. All right. So thank you so much, Kathleen, and congratulations on having a full roster for the contest and the next meeting. I don't know what could be better for a VP education than to have all next 3 meetings tune up. And that's the best feeling in the world. So congratulations once again on that. And happily, my office time is about to start too. And we have made it to the end of the meeting without needing chocolates today. I protest because not only can I not participate in any contest on the planet, but my one moment of giving out chocolates was taken away today. But what could be the better reason than people enlisting for contests? So thank you so much, all our members, and especially our very special guests from Sri Lanka, for taking up the timing. That was absolutely phenomenal. Timer is one role which people are reluctant to take, but those who are habitual timers, they know that it can be the most fun role. So thank you so much once again, DTM Zameen and Madam Dilshan. We sincerely appreciate you guys taking up the timing role. And, everyone better be on good terms with these two because they will make or break you, right? You may be very price, but if you move to 7 minutes and 31 seconds, you will not have a chance. So everyone, please work on your timing. Today was an absolutely beautiful meeting in terms of speeches and the table topics. I believe we were all thrilled and intrigued by the table topics today, by all the speeches that covered everything from ADHD to weight loss and to Michelle's absolutely phenomenal recounting of her dancing conquests. So, I mean, there are very few clubs in the world where you would find such a diverse set of members and their diverse stories. So, on that happy note, I would like to end this meeting with a gentle reminder, and that tomorrow too, I believe we have 2 of our members speaking at the Karachi Toastmasters Club. So either Kathleen or Cynthia, please reconfirm that. I will also be sharing the link for that particular meeting because it is thrilling to witness our members in a different club. So with that, I once again convey my sincere gratitude to all of you for making this one memorable meeting. We couldn't have hoped for a better meeting for the start of the year. And we will only get better and better with each successive meeting after this. Thank you so much, everyone, and goodbye.
Happy New Year, everyone.